Cultivation of pasture. There will be a lot of development of earth dams.
Also on the news, Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy moves to safeguard communities along waterways.
If you appreciate the need to put on the life jacket, it's not a decoration. People to be able to use the life jacket for their safety.
Good evening, I'm Lami Ali. Welcome to Network News on NTA. Tonight, Hingino John Adams will be joining us from our studios in Lagos. Our business news will be presented by our businesswoman, Maria Ado-Zakari. So, Maria, what's up in the world of business?
Well, it's raining loans and grants in Owerri State, Imo State, where businessmen are asked to key in and make the most of it.
All right, we'll give you details on that later. And of course, Bade Adeleye brings you the latest on sports. So Bade, tell us the performance of our athletes today.
Well, I mean, there's a new African record for Nigeria in swimming. And of course, this weekend, attention shifts to the President's Federation Cup.
Don't forget, you can watch this broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Let's dive into the news. President Bola Tinubu has assured that Nigeria will not bow to pressure of those seeking to destabilize the country, as his administration is taking steps to equip the security agencies with advanced equipment, superior intelligence and robust logistical support to defeat enemies of the state. The president addressed armed troops on arrival as the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Airport, Katsina. State House correspondent Ms. Bao Wahab reports.
President Tinubu in Katsina on a two-day working visit. But his action clearly showed one of the issues that matter to his administration: security. Katsina has been one of the northwest states feeling the disturbances by bandits in Nigeria. And these are the representatives of officers and men of the armed forces and even paramilitary agencies fighting insecurity in the state and beyond. The Commander-in-Chief is here not just to fill the pulse of his men and women, but also to boost their morale.
How is the morale? Are you good to go? Are you motivated?
For the president, the fight against all forms of insecurity goes beyond a territorial fight, but one aiming to save the soul of the country. He says Nigeria as a nation will not give in to the pressure and agenda of the enemies of state, as the country is repositioning itself to return the heat on the enemies and their collaborators.
Fully aware of the challenges you face, the sacrifices you are making. We are taking bold steps to equip you with advanced equipment, necessary technological advancement, superior intelligence, and robust logistical support, not only to defend this nation, but to dominate and defeat every adversary.
He appreciated these men and women and their likes across the country for their efforts and sacrifices in safeguarding the nation, while Nigerians expect the best of their commitments in protecting lives and properties of the citizens. President Tinubu assures the frontline men of his administration's commitment to their welfare.
But it's not just about weapons. Your welfare, your care is a top priority for this nation. We are committed to ensuring your families are safe, your allowances are paid promptly, your health care is guaranteed, and your dignity upheld.
The Commander-in-Chief implored his men to remain focused on this national cause. From Katsina, Musbau and Wahab, NTA News.
In a related developments, President Bola Tinubu says his administration remains sincerely committed to the various interventions and projects aimed at development of Katsina State and other parts of northern Nigeria. The president restated this commitment as he inaugurated agricultural and infrastructural projects executed by Katsina State government. State House correspondent Musbau Wahab is putting together the report, and we shall bring it to you in the course of the bulletin. Now, the federal government has inaugurated a pilot project to revamp 417 grazing reserves across the country to global standards, starting with the Wasi livestock village in Plateau State. Yusuf Jika reports that the project, in collaboration with the state government, aims to end the long-standing farmer-herder clashes and boost livestock productivity.
The renewed top agenda in the livestock industry is gradually coming to fruition with the inauguration of a multi-million naira Wase grazing reserve infrastructure in Plateau State to house herders' family and their cattle with a view to addressing open grazing and its attendant effects. This, the Minister Idi Mukhtar Meha says, it will improve productivity and enhance economic fortunes within the value chain.
To demonstrate that this is doable under the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Here we have come with a model that encompasses, apart from the housing for the families of the herders, there is also going to be massive cultivation of pasture. There will be a lot of development of earth dams for dry season irrigation of pasture, so that when the animals are here, they would have no reason to leave this place for purposes of looking for greener pasture.
We also want you to support the president and also your governor, who is very much committed to seeing that this thing works.
This initiative today is to show the commitment of the government at all levels.
A cross-section of community leaders and livestock farmers commended the foresight of the present administration in the quest to revive the Wase Grazing Reserve.
The condition of this visiting of minister will boost the morale of this rearing cattle.
The minister and his entourage were at the palace of emirs of Wasi and Kanam and briefed them on the federal government's agenda and the livestock industry in Jos. Yusuf Jika, NTA News.
Development of infrastructure is fundamental to grow the economy. This explains why the present administration is keen on rehabilitating and constructing durable roads that are germane to the nation's economic growth goals. Minister of Works David Umahi stated this while touring ongoing road rehabilitation and construction projects in Lagos State. Larry Belei has the details.
At both Ido and Marina bridges, the minister informed the contractors rehabilitating the bridges to come up with a method statement on days the bridges will be closed to the populace for Lagos residents to receive adequate information on alternative routes at least 7 days before work commences. On the Independence Bridge, you remember that the minister says that he will come back after 3 weeks of rehabilitation works to know if there will be more work to be done on the bridge.
I want to declare that the work we did through the special grace of God and God's wisdom is now declared to be a permanent work. No more any other kind of work on this particular spot. However, the boat carriageway will have to be resurfaced.
So the minister is right here at the Lagos-Calabar road, and the main thing is that the 20 kilometers of this road is built to be inaugurated on May 29th by the president this year, and the minister is here to check on the level of work done because the targets must be met.
Let me state that this project is over 70% done, and so the contractor has not gotten funds up to 70%, and that's why I call them people that have set their mind towards nation building than making money. So we are very, very happy.
David Umahi used the opportunity to visit the frontier of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway construction. In Lagos, Larry Belei, NTA News.
Now, the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy has distributed 3,500 life jackets in demonstration of its commitment and proactiveness to safeguard the lives and livelihoods of the populace who rely on inland waterways for transportation and sustenance. Hussein Musa reports that Minister of Marine and Blue Economy Adegboyega Oyetola flagged off the marine safety awareness sensitization and distribution of life jackets in Minna, the Niger State capital.
The needless loss of lives and livelihoods as a result of inland waterways accidents across the country, Niger State Inclusive informed the need for the life-saving initiative. The drive, which is in tandem with the Renewed Hope agenda, is committed to safety awareness campaigns and distribution of life jackets in communities bordering waterways.
We should appreciate the need to put on the life jacket. It's not for decoration. People to be able to use the life jacket for their safety and the safety of others. I believe that they could always supplement that. The state government should be able to provide some, additional support. I'm always looking forward to being able to standardize the standard of boats being used.
Your presence today underscores the federal government commitment to safeguard the lives and livelihood of our people who depends on inland waterways for transportation, commerce, and sustenance.
Aside the benefiting states across the country getting 3,500 life jackets each, a committee has been constituted to review all recorded waterways tragedies, identify systemic and operational deficiencies, and propose transformative and far-reaching measures to eliminate accidents, as well as enhance safety standards across the country's inland waterways. In Minna, Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
The Nigeria Immigration Service has rolled out a new e-visa system and automated landing and exit cards effective May 1st, 2025, as part of immigration reforms. In a statement, Public Relations Officer of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Akinshola Akinlabi, says all visa applications must now be done entirely online, with approvals delivered via email within 48 hours. The visa on arrival policy, he notes, ends May 1st, and previously issued ones expire by May 30. The statement also conveys the introduction of a mandatory online landing card for inbound foreigners and exit card for outbound travelers, both accessible at lecard.immigration.gov.ng. Akinlabi explains that from September 1st, overstaying attracts a $15 daily fine, plus bans of up to 5 years or permanent blacklisting. A 3-month grace period allows foreigners with expired visas to exit Nigeria without penalty, ending August 1st, 2025. Now, in a bid to tackle the growing challenge of Almajiri and out-of-school children in the Northeast sub-region, the Northeast Governors Forum has resolved to partner the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children's Education to ensure that every child has access to equitable and inclusive education. The Executive Secretary of the Commission, Dr. Muhammad Sani Idris, stated this shortly after his engagements with the governors during their 11th meeting held in Damaturu, Yobe State. Yunusa Suleiman has the details.
The Northeast is one of the sub-regions in the country with a high concentration of Almajiris and out-of-school children, prompting concerns about potential exploitation and abuse of these children. To address this challenge, governors from the sub-region in their 11th meeting were briefed by the Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Almajiri and Out-of-School Children's Education on the need to forge a strong partnership towards enrolling these children in formal schools.
I've discussed also with the governors the need to support us with a place where we will replicate the Kaduna school, the Tinubu Legacy School that is now operational in Kaduna, where Almajiri are being exposed to Western education, Arabic language, and skills acquisition. We were also able to discuss the flight of the out-of-school children, where we saw together that this is a time bomb that is awaiting explosion. And the Northeast is already ravaged with this mayhem that is unleashed on us by Boko Haram.
This subnational partnership is seen as a promising step for this category of children to reach their full potential. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
We'll pause for a brief commercial break. We'll return with more news shortly. Do stay. You're welcome back. In a display of compassion and commitment to giving back to society, the NNPC Foundation has successfully conducted a free cataract screening and extraction program in the Northwest Geopolitical Zone, with around 1,000 indigent individuals benefiting. Sagir Muhammad Awar reports that the initiative aims to address the high rate of vision impairments and blindness caused by cataracts.
The free 1,000 cataract screening and extraction program in the Northwest Geopolitical Zone was to improve healthcare with emphasis on combating preventable blindness, while flagging off the exercise in Zaria for the zone. Emir of Zazzau Mala Ahmadu Bamali commended NNPC Foundation for the initiative, noting that the gesture will create impact and positive change in the lives of the people in the zone.
I don't think if I have any suitable phrase to express the delight and gratitude of our people and ourselves as an institution. Because if you don't have, sight, certainly your life is truncated.
This humanitarian initiative is not only restaurant side, but also restaurant food.
The managing director, NNPC Foundation, Emanuela Arukwe, says the foundation is committed to restore the sight of indigents across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country.
We try to bring equalize access to health. So we're bringing the vulnerable communities. You can see it's quite widespread. We're not starting the only one location in the Northwest. As we are speaking, we are about so many different locations in the just in the Northwest. And that's also the North Central and North East. So we can spread it. Once they restore their sight, they will not be a burden. They can now contribute to their families, to their society, and Nigeria at large economically.
Among those benefited from the cataract extraction were 60-year-old Iyabode Beshorun and 50-year-old Jibril Sani, among many, expressed gratitude for the gesture.
NNPC Foundation will not run down. They will go higher and higher. Inshallah.
I'm very happy because since last year that I'm having this problem. But the NNPC, therefore yesterday I heard that they will come and did this operation free to us.
The NNPC Foundation Free Cataract Screening and Extraction Program is part of the foundation effort to support the less privileged, has made impact on the lives of many. From Zaria, Sagir Muhammad Awal, NTA News.
The NNPC Foundation also launched free cataract extraction surgery program targeting 500 patients in Niger State. Mukhtar Wuwu reports that the foundation has so far operated on more than 100 eye patients in Minna, the Niger State capital.
I was in darkness before. I am now in light.
Testimonies of some beneficiaries from the NNPC Foundation's free cataract extraction program during the unveiling of their operated eyes showed that the treatment had a significant impact, restoring vision and hope.
I was not seeing clear. As they have done the surgery, I can now see clear.
I appreciate this thing that these people that do for us.
Even in government hospitals currently, cataract surgery goes from between 50 to 60,000. That's excluding the post-op drugs.
Niger State Commissioner for Secondary and Tertiary Health, Dr. Bello Tukur, while soliciting for the equipping of the Minna Eye Center with modern facilities, commended NNPC Foundation for the gesture.
Currently, we have one operating microscope, and if we can have more of that, those are some of the things that I was talking to them about.
The team lead and representative of the managing director of NNPC Foundation, Adam Musani, says the free cataract extraction surgeries are a way of giving back to society and is being conducted simultaneously in the North Central states with the target of 1,000 eye patients.
In Minna, we are looking at 200 people, 200 patients, and in Bidda, 300 patients. Is about adding value to people, also that they can be productive to the society.
As part of the NNPC Foundation's free medical outreach, other ailments were diagnosed and treated with free medications offered. Emina Mukhtar, NTA News.
And in other news, the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, is advocating the promotion of Nigeria's local content policy to boost the country's economic growth. Kunle Adeyeye reports that the FCT chapter of the institute discussed this initiative during their monthly meeting alongside plans for the upcoming Public Relations Week in Akwa Ibom State.
The Nigerian local content policy aims to increase the participation of Nigerian companies, labor, and goods in the oil and gas industry. A seasoned member of the Abuja chapter of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, Obinna Ezeobi, chronicles the implementation of the policy, but emphasized that execution will be more effective with public relations.
So CSR and local content becomes one and the same at some point. Also, companies that are executing local content can actually have CSR as part of their initiatives.
We now have leadership communicators, those who are in government and other leadership positions. We have energy communicators, we have aviation communicators, and we have finance communicators. So we are now building specialization and capacity in all these areas of discipline, and we cut across all aspects.
But the good work that the NIPR did in respect of the spokesperson summit will also reverberate there.
As professionals, we must begin to drive this narrative. Most organizations do not know the value of corporate social responsibility, but the value goes beyond Naira and Kobo.
Kunle Adeyeye, NTA News.
In recognition of the ritual significance of Hajj to millions of Nigerian Muslims, the present administration has consistently provided the necessary support to ensure that the obligation remains within the reach of thousands of Nigerian Muslims. Senior Special Assistant to the President on Legal and Compliance Matters, Vice President's Office, Bashir Madugu, said at a second National Hajj Stakeholder Summit that put together by Hajj Institute of Nigeria, with the theme Sustainable Hajj Financing, Developing a Resilient Model for Nigerian Pilgrims and Operators. Emphasis was placed on the need for a more efficient, transparent, inclusive model that is innovative, accountable, with private sector collaboration as against ad hoc arrangements.
The necessity for funding a sustainable financing model for Hajj and Umrah.
We are indeed at a crossroad where the financial demands and administrative complexity of Hajj are rising sharply, and global inflation, currency volatility, and shifting economic realities.
Chairman Hajj Commission of Nigeria, Professor Abdullahi Usman, also agreed that the Hajj industry faces increasing pressure from fluctuating foreign exchange rates and other challenges, making pilgrimage increasingly expensive, which is why developing a resilient and sustainable financial model is no longer an option, but a necessity. President Tinubu has sent a warm birthday message to Chief Pius Oluwakinyelure on his 82nd birthday, describing him as a husband, father, and accomplished administrator who stands out not just as a fine politician and respectable community leader, but also as an eminent figure in Nigeria. In the statement, President Tinubu says his relationship with Akinyelure blossomed at Mobile, where they developed a special bond in a professional work environment, becoming brothers, confidants, associates, and trusted allies for over 40 years. The president cherishes their enduring friendship and brotherhood, which has enriched his life through Akinyelure's wisdom, forthrightness, and steadfast counsel. President Tinubu appreciates Akinyelure's leadership at NNPC Limited, which led to some achievements the state-owned oil company recorded in the last 10 years. He prays that Almighty God will continue to grant him good health, happiness, and many more years of fulfillment. And now let's go live to Lagos for the latest news. Our newscaster Hingino has the details. Hingino, it's over to you.
Thank you, Lami, and welcome to Lagos. Justice Sherifat Sonaike of the Lagos State High Court, sitting at the Tafawa Balewa Square, has sentenced Andrew Nice Ominikaro, a former bus rapid transit BRT driver, to death by hanging for killing a 22-year-old fashion designer, Oluwabamiche Ayonwola, after more than 3 years of trial. Ominikaro was arraigned on a 5-count charge of murder, conspiracy, and rape of the deceased, as well as sexual assault of one Dr. Victoria Anosike and rape on Maryland Ojezelu. Ime Udari's report is presented.
Delivering the 3-hour judgment, Justice Sherifat Sonaike ruled that the Lagos State government, which prosecuted the case, successfully proved its case beyond a reasonable doubt. In her words, for the death of Oluwabamiche Ayonwola, you will be hanged by the neck until you are dead. The offences contravened sections 411, 223, 260, and 165 of the Criminal Law Code of Lagos State 2015. The accused, however, pleaded not guilty to all the charges. The trial judge said that the deceased died from severe cerebral injury and blood-forced trauma, and his actions and inactions led to her death. Defense counsel Omotubora said he would appeal the case. Human rights activist Kehinde Adeoye, alongside the brother of the deceased, react to the judgment.
The Lagos State government should take it upon itself to ensure that there's safety in BRT bus.
I'm very, very okay with the sentence. It's the maximum. But there are actually some questions that are begging for answers.
The deceased Oluwabamiche Ayonwola was last seen on February 26, 2022, after boarding a BRT driven by Andrew Nice Ominikaro around the Lekki-Aja Conservation Axis of Lagos. Her disappearance sparked public outrage and widespread search, after which her lifeless body was found 9 days later on Kata Bridge, Ebutero area of Lagos Island.
To ensure speedy and sustainable development of the 7 development commissions, the Ministry of Regional Development is working towards a template that will set an agenda for the even development along the core priority areas of the current administration. The Minister, Abubakar Momo, speaking at a 3-day retreat on institutional coordination for development, says the initiative will also help address the specific needs of each region. Joel Popola has the reports.
The 3-day retreat, which brought together all the development commissions, critical stakeholders and industry players, is to ensure that everyone is on the same page in implementation of strategies to deliver on the mandate of the Regional Development Ministry. The Minister Abubakar Momo says the retreat will galvanize and ensure a structured developmental plan that is in tandem with the core priorities of each region.
We will be up and doing to ensure that the regulatory framework and the policy measures that can enhance the mandate that is given to all these commissions are put in place. That means we will double our efforts and we ensure that we get on board more competent hands.
For the Minister of State for Regional Development, the retreat will ensure proper utilization of resources in line with needs assessment of each commission.
We thought it very, very important to first of all bring ourselves here so as to understand each other's mandate so that we properly take off at the same time, giving the commissions to the opportunity to share ideas, especially for those that have been in existence for 25 years and 6 years now, talking about the NDDC and the NEDC.
In his keynote address on the lessons in driving regional development, Sam Amadi urged the supervising ministry and commissions to focus on areas that will enhance human development for more impact. The leadership of the National Assembly in charge of various development commissions promised necessary legislative support for the success of the ministry. The ongoing retreat is hinged on the theme, improving institutional coordination for better development results. In Lagos, Joel Ukbola, NTA News.
And that's it from Lagos. Maria Ado Zakari is standing by with business news, but after the break.
Southeast businessmen and women have been urged to fully subscribe to the federal government's 200 billion naira grants and loans in order to improve their economic fortunes. This was at a one-day town hall meeting on the federal government's MSMEs grants and loans held in Owerri, the Imo State capital.
We are calling on all Southeasterners that they should take advantage of this. There is still room for more businesses to be accommodated within this scheme. The MSME fund has a maximum obligor limit of 5 million. That means businesses that are registered can access up to 5 million.
For you to be able to access the FGN MSME fund, you must first make sure you have a registered business with Corporate Affairs Commission, and you must also be able to give us a bank statement for 6 months. You must have NIMC, BVN. You must provide pro forma invoice of items you want us to fund.
Some of the beneficiaries commended President Bola Tinubu for making available the grants and loans which they described as a turning point of their business ventures.
I want two people to help me thank the federal government who made me to stand up in my business again. I'm most grateful to His Excellency, the President of our country, Abe Tinubu, for this gesture.
The 200 billion naira federal government loan scheme has interest rate of 9% per annum, repayable within 3 years, including a 3-month moratorium. Over 29,000 people from Imo State have so far benefited from the loan scheme.
In a similar event in Gombe, the federal government reaffirms commitment to promoting inclusive economic growth by supporting small-scale entrepreneurs and driving grassroots economic development. This was highlighted during a sensitization and town hall meeting on the Presidential Conditional Grant and Loan Scheme. Nafisa Omar Garba reports.
Are believed to be vital drivers of the economy, capable of bringing about positive economic turnaround. They complement existing medium and large-scale industries, creating empowerment opportunities and absorbing a significant percentage of unemployed population. The Bank of Industry and the Presidential Conditional Grant and Loan Schemes organized a sensitization and town hall meeting with entrepreneurs in Gombe State. The meeting shares ideas on optimizing the scheme's operations with resultant financial support, job creation, and inclusive economic growth.
So far, we have disbursed over 107 billion to almost 900,000 beneficiaries across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria. This program is more than a policy directive. It is an investment in Nigeria's future.
By having this loan on board, actually it will help a lot of businesses to grow in the state.
Beneficiaries of the Presidential Conditional Grant and Loan Schemes in Gombe State reported positive impacts on their businesses, citing financial literacy, job creation, and growth of their businesses as key benefits.
We were able to access the loan of the 5 million naira, and now honestly my business is doing well.
In between 3 to 2 months like this, the loan was disbursed. So before, my business actually is a small mini business, this thing, but now recently upgrade.
The scheme's success stories demonstrate its potential to empower entrepreneurs and drive economic development. Nefisa Umar Garba, NTA News.
Nigerian equities closed Friday bullish, with all-share index up 0.23% amid negative sentiment. Despite renewed interest in some key stocks, this is as investors gained 151.92 billion naira, with market capitalization increasing to 66.66 trillion naira. Meanwhile, the South Africa JSE Top 40 closed at 84,737.19 basis points, up by 0.62%, just as the Tunisian index closed down by 0.41%. That is it on the business news. It's back to Lami now.
Thank you so much, Maria. Now, the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Bala Abubakar, has charged newly graduated pilots of the Nigerian Air Force to view their flying qualifications not merely as personal milestones, but as a solemn national responsibility. A statement by the Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Ehimen Ejodame, indicates that this was as the combined graduation ceremony of Basic Transport Flying Course 5 and Students Pilot Course 49, held at the 401 Flying Training School, Kaduna. The 35 new aviators, comprising 10 basic transport course graduates and 25 student pilots, were reminded by Air Marshal Abubakar of the immense trust placed on their shoulders as they carry not just rank and wings, but the hopes of millions of Nigerians who depend on the Nigerian Air Force for safety and security. The Nigerian Air Force reiterates its unwavering dedication to enhancing professional capacity, improving personnel welfare, and executing its constitutional mandate to safeguard Nigeria's territorial integrity while supporting national development. And the Nigerian Navy has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring the maritime domain remains secure and safe for legitimate businesses to thrive in line with national security objectives. Commanding Officer of the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Mosul, Captain Ifeanyi Chukwu Mabioku, gave the assurance while handing over a motor fishing trawler arrested for suspected arms smuggling to the Federal Department of Fisheries and Agriculture. Baratwa Pere Awe has details.
In continuation of the mandate of Operation Delta Sanity 2, which objectives is to checkmate crude oil theft, illegal bunkering, piracy within the maritime environment of the country, the Nigerian Navy Forward Operating Base for Mosul, Brass Council area of Bayelsa State, arrested a motor fishing trawler, MFT, Olokun 7, for illegal possession of firearms, ammunition, and embarkation of 2 unlawful security escorts. Commanding Officer, Forward Operating Base for Mosul, Navy Captain Ifeanyi Chukwu Mabioku, represented by the Chief Executive Officer, FOB for Mosul, Commander S.N. Ebuti, said the captain of the trawler deliberately refused to declare the embarkation of the 2 unlawful escorts while in possession of assault weapons and ammunition,
including 1 G3 rifle, 1 pump-action shotgun, 20 rounds of 7.62 by 5.1 millimeter NATO version ammunition.
The motor fishing trawler was handed over to the representatives of Federal Department of Fisheries and Agriculture for further investigation and prosecution.
We've received the handed over note. We'll go through it for further investigation. And have it in mind that the reports of this investigation will share with the Nigerian Navy.
From FOB for Mosul, Brass Council area of Bayelsa State, Baratwaipre Awe, NTA News.
Stay tuned for more news after the break. Reform UK leader Nigel Farage says his hard-right party is now the main opposition party after snatching a parliamentary seat from Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour in local elections. Just as Prince Harry loses security appeal case, here is Chukununso Mwabweze with the details.
Reform led by anti-immigrant firebrand
Nigel Farage won the by-election in Runcorn and Hillsborough, northwest England, by just 6 votes as it picked up gains in other localities, including one mayoralty. The group's strong showing, overturning a huge Labour majority in one of the party's safest parliamentary seats, continues momentum seen at last year's general election and appears to confirm a trend that the UK is entering an era of multi-party politics.
They are toast. You're witnessing the end of a party that's been around since 1832. It's disappearing.
In other news, Prince Harry Friday lost his bid to restore his UK police protection after the UK government downgraded his security when he stepped back from royal life and moved abroad. Harry was not present for the judgment at London's Court of Appeal, in which Judge Geoffrey Voss dismissed the appeal.
His decision to step back from royal duties and spend the majority of his time abroad has been that he's been provided with a more bespoke and generally lesser level of protection than what he was provided with in the UK before. But that did not of itself give rise to a legal complaint.
The government committee, which handles protection for royals and public figures, in 2020 decided Prince Harry would not receive the same degree as before of publicly funded protection when in Britain. Chukunonsonwa Boeze, NTA News.
Sports news is next with Bade. Bade, you're on.
All right, let's begin with this record-breaking feat from Nigeria's Adama Abdul-Jabbar, who has broken another African record in 50 meters freestyle at the ongoing 16th Africa Junior Swimming Championship in Cairo, Egypt. Abdul-Jabbar posted a new record time of 22.54 seconds to erase the previous record of 22.65. The victory makes it the second gold medal for Nigeria and a bronze, all won by Abdul-Jabbar. Another swimmer, Kashokwe Obatoyinbo, competed in the final but failed to record a podium finish after he came sixth in a time of 23.92 seconds to only surpass his personal best time. To a bit of football now. Crystal Stars Queens have set a new goal-scoring record in the women's tournament of the ongoing Bayelsa State Governors Football Tournament, known as the Prosperity Cup, following their 13-0 whitewash of Global Stars of Yenagoa. Last year's second runners-up, Afini Ladies, recorded a 2-0 win over Jerry Queens FC to advance to the next round. Bayelsa State College of Nursing Sciences also beat Akede Queens 3-1 on penalties after a goalless draw, while Golden Sun Sports Club hammered Niger Delta Queens 4-0.
The organizers are trying. They've really improved from last year that I came. Meanwhile, we still pray that they should step up more than what we are seeing.
Since from childhood, it has been my dream to be a keeper, but it's just that there was no one to train me. But when I came to Bayelsa State College of Nursing Sciences, coach just decided to say, please come and keep for us.
Moving on, attention turns to the President's Federation Cup this Saturday, as Giant Killers Abakaliki FC will be hoping to continue with their good run in the competition when they face Nasarawa United in Benin City in one of the quarter-final matches. Wiki Tourist and Ikorodu City have a date at the Buhari Stadium in Abuja. Akwa United and Kwara United face off in Ilorin, while Plateau United and Enugu Rangers trade tackles at the Area 3 pitch in Abuja. Finally, the clash between Manchester City and Wolverhampton Wanderers served as the curtain raiser for the Week 35 fixtures of the English Premier League. As at the last time we checked, City were leading 1-0 courtesy of Kevin De Bruyne's 35th minute strike, and the match just ended that way. In other fixtures for this weekend, Aston Villa take on Fulham, Arsenal at home to Bournemouth, Brentford and Manchester United have a date on Sunday with new champions Liverpool facing an away trip to Stamford Bridge against Chelsea. That does it on Sports Tonight. Let's return to Lam.
And that's the news on this rainy Friday evening in Abuja. We thank you for being a part of it. Do have a good weekend. I'm Lami Ali.